Dominica, good afternoon to you and welcome to the Talk on the Block. You know, if it's on the block, we'll talk about it. But you know what we'll do? We'll take a break and we'll come right back.
Fuel your farm with premium animal feeds at Blue Box. We're excited to announce a major expansion to our lineup. Blue Box Farm and Garden Center is now your go-to supplier for high-quality animal feeds. From poultry to livestock, we provide the specialized nutrition your animal needs to thrive. Our feed portfolio includes poultry solutions, swine care, small pet and livestock. Visit Blue Box in Roseau on the corner of Hanover Street and Drury Lane, or Blue Box Goodwill, 66 Federation Drive, Goodwill. Let's bloom together. Fuel your farm with premium animal feeds at Blue Box. We're excited to announce a major expansion to our lineup. Blue Box Farm and Garden Center is now your go-to supplier for high-quality animal feeds. From poultry to livestock, we provide the specialized nutrition your animal needs to thrive. Our feed portfolio includes poultry solutions, swine care, small pet and livestock. Visit Blue Box in Roseau on the corner of Hanover Street and Drury Lane, or Blue Box Goodwill, 66 Federation Drive, Goodwill. Let's bloom together.
The hurricane season is upon us. Q95 FM Radio, your lifeline during the hurricane season. Stay informed and stay prepared.
All right, Dominica, we have a stop right now. It's 1:10. And just guess whose voice you'll be hearing this afternoon. A voice you have not heard for a while, huh? But he's here in a different capacity. But I know you'd welcome that voice. He's representing the Bloombox brand this afternoon. Let me say good afternoon to Mr. Carlton Lando. Carlton, how you doing?
Matt, good morning. I say good morning. It's good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon to all your listeners at this time. It is really a pleasure to be back.
A pleasure.
Here with you. It's been just
some time.
Some time. But I am so happy to be back connecting with you. We're with a different heart, in a different capacity. We're talking Bloombox today. Let's bloom together. And what better time to bloom this summer? And we know that summer it's a bit hot, but at the same time too, we are in the tropical weather, and so you can expect some rain at some times, like all now. So
some storm.
It's a bit, you can expect storm, you can also expect sun. So today we're talking Bloombox, and you may have heard about Bloombox in the past, or you may not have heard about Bloombox. And this afternoon, we are going to tell you everything that you ought to know about the brand and the business Bloombox.
All right, so let's hit the ground rolling, Carlton.
Right.
What do you need to tell us?
So when we talk about Bloombox, we are referring to Dominica's leading supplier of farm, garden, and agricultural products for all of the issues or problems that you need solution for. You can certainly rely on Bloombox. So Bloombox actually started operation here in Dominica in 2021. It's a family-owned business specialized in agricultural products and tools and everything that you may need for gardening. As you know, Dominica is, I call it, the epitome of nature. If you're looking for...
You see the Garden of Eden.
Yeah, man. Fertile soil. If you're looking... just look at the amount of the species of mango that we have on island. And you wonder, in one island, with so many different types of mangoes. And the very same thing is applicable to many of the various fruits that we have on island. And so that means that more and more we've been hearing the call to invest in agriculture, to go back to the land, to get into backyard gardening. And this is what Bloombox fosters, that practice and the attitude to really get back into agriculture. And so when we look at the variety of products that they carry, we recognize the whole aim is to promote sustainable and eco-friendly practices that supports long-term agricultural success and environmental care. And let me just stick a pin there when we talk about environmental care, because we know in order for us to have good food security, we want to make sure that the type of chemicals that we use on the farms are the ones that are not harmful to the land. And so hence the reason when we look at products that we select and put on the market, we make sure that these products are products that are environmentally friendly and at the same time can promote the type of harvest that we're looking for. So if you're looking for tools, you're looking for fertilizers, soils and potting mixes, seeds, irrigation equipment, pest control solutions, landscaping products, look no further. Look at and look for Bloombox, because we have two very good locations that are in the Roseau catchment area. We have our first location in Goodwill. If you drive up to Federation Drive, you will see the sign Bloombox. And so for those who do not really want to be in the hustle and bustle and have difficulty finding a parking spot, you really may want to go up to Goodwill for time efficiency. And it saves you time, it saves you that hustle of finding a parking space. And sometimes you would have purchased products and still need to find your vehicle close to a location for the items to be placed on your pickup or whatever vehicle that you have. So I like Federation Drive because it is hustle free. If you are in Roseau and you must shop in Roseau, there is an outlet there for you as well. So Dominicans sometimes are not very keen on streets, but if you tell them exactly the proximity
Next
of
to
the business, they know. So
Close to.
if you know Whitchurch, and I think everybody knows Whitchurch IGA in Roseau, at the back of Whitchurch where they receive their products, you will find Bloombox right on the other side of the road. So it's just close to Cable and Wireless.
next to the wholesale witcher.
That's it. Next to the wholesale of Whitchurch, you'll find Bloombox
And if you're receiving money from Western Union, it's right there.
right there. So it's really, really easy to find. Very, very easy. Just around on Hanover Street, you can find Bloombox there. And again, all of the products that I have mentioned, they are available. One of the things so that I like about Bloombox is that most times when you go to these types of agricultural centric stores, the smell of all the chemicals sometimes can get to you. But with them, they have extractors, and so you have less of the smells of these chemicals having to inhale. And it's fully air conditioned, so you really can shop in comfort. The staff, I find they're very knowledgeable,
Very warm.
very knowledgeable. They can really give you objective information relating to the products, their benefits, their features. And I always say what makes a great salesman is understanding features and how it equates.
And you can tell they're very well trained. I was there yesterday passing a message. If I get back to my office, the person reached back to me. So
Right.
good communication there.
That is important. And I mean, that is what we focus on, not just the customer service, but the customer care. And you can guarantee you that when you do shop with us at Bloombox, you will get that care that you're looking for. And so those products, they are available. You're looking for a rick, you're looking for an irrigation pail, you're looking for a shovel, a pickaxe, you're looking for any of those things, cutlass, different types of cutlasses, they are available at Bloombox at both locations as we. And again, fertilizers, you can find animal feed as well. You can get seeds, irrigation equipments, pest control solutions. Like recently, I was looking for something to control centipedes in the yard. Although ecologists would say that if your yard has centipedes, it means that you have very fertile soil,
Okay.
right? But we know that I'm not a lover of centipedes at all. I'm terrified by them. So I was looking for a chemical that can be used to help minimize and control the animal, the centipedes. And here it is. I went to Bloombox, Federation Drive. One of the men came up to me and introduced me a product, a powder, and told me about the benefits of it, telling me how it's going to work, what's going to happen, and everything. And voila, I've really seen a reduction in how frequently I would have seen centipedes.
So there's knowledge of the product.
So there is knowledge. And that is what information actually gives people the confidence in your services. And you can rest assured that when you shop at Bloombox, you will get the credible information, scientific information that will help you to make a wiser and a bit more prudent decision as you look for the right products that is going to help to sustain your planning and your planting, because you want to plan properly, but you want to make sure that those plans they bring good results, and we help you with such. We'll take a break and then we'll be right back with you.
Farm with premium animal feeds at Blue Box. We're excited to announce a major expansion to our lineup. Blue Box Farm and Garden Center is now your go-to supplier for high-quality animal feeds. From poultry to livestock, we provide the specialized nutrition your animal needs to thrive. Our feed portfolio includes poultry solutions, swine care, small pet and livestock. Visit Blue Box in Roseau on the corner of Hanover Street and Drury Lane, or Blue Box Goodwill, 66 Federation Drive, Goodwill. Let's bloom together.
Let's go back to you, Mr. Lando.
Right. So we're back. And you might be wondering, what are the opening hours? I have mentioned the two locations, one in Federation Drive and one on Hanover Street, that is right at the back of Whitchurch IGA. Our working hours are 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Mondays to Fridays. And on Saturdays, we're also open, and both locations are from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. So those are the times that we operate, and you can access the stores at these times. Again, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday, and on Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on a Saturday. We do have some amazing promotions that are coming up. We are the agents for Caribbean Grains Animal Feed. As you know, animal husbandry is one of the subsection of agriculture, and many people are getting into that area of agriculture, whether it's with chicken, sheep, goat, horses, cows. Many people are now investing into those types of meat, even pigs. And so, just to let you know that the Caribbean Grains Animal Feeds, they are and will be available from next week on the market. And one of the things that sometimes people have said, well, oh, some of these foods are not so organic as they used to. But what they have done is to make these foods more nutritionally balanced. So the animal will get all of the food groups in the food. You will see a more consistent growth in terms of their organ health, that will be much better as well in terms of how healthy the animal will be. I mean, years ago, most of us would have fed our chicken with rice, which was just merely carbohydrates. What about the fiber? What about the protein? What about the other food groups that the animals require? And so when we talk about these foods, we're talking about wholesome nutrition that these animals are going to get from these foods. And so they will be available. We will have a promotion coming up very soon on the Caribbean Grains animal feed. So sometime next week, I will let you know when the promotion will begin. But if you buy free of any Caribbean Grains animal feed, you will get one bag for free. And if you buy 5 bags, you will get another bag for free. But that will be the master mix animal feed. So we have two different brands there. So we have the animal grains, the Caribbean Grains animal feed. That's a brand. The promotion will be you buy 3 bags and you'll get one bag for free whilst promotion lasts. And then for the master mix animal feed, if you buy 5 bags, you will get one bag free. And these are the two brands of animal feeds that we are carrying. Again, as I said, these animal feeds, they will be available from next week. We want you to take note. The promotion will be actively there. And so we want you to take advantage of it. So all of the livestock farmers that are on island, we want you to note that Bloombox will be having the Caribbean Grains animal feed and the Master Mix animal feed. These two key brands, they are very, very nutritionally laden for all of your animals' nutritional and vital health needs. That's what you need. The days of giving, the zebgua to the chicken or the rice, or those are still good. You can still use them, but you really want to complement it with a bit more wholesome nutritional foods that are scientifically proven to help with the development and growth of the animals. Also, too, next week we'll be receiving some livestock bedding products. We'll have livestock animal pen duct to control livestock pests. We'll have oyster shell supplements for poultry. We'll have eggshell cleaners and cleaning wipes. All of those will be a wide variety of vitamins and nutrients for your poultry, pigs, and goats. Those are products that will be receiving very, very soon. From next week, these products will be in stock. Just remember as well, as I said, that Bloombox, we are in the whole business of promoting sustainable and eco-friendly practices that will support long-term agricultural success and environmental care. We really, believe in growing stronger communities through sustainable agriculture. And so that's what we do. We work very closely with the school agricultural projects. We've subsidized and sponsor many of the greenhouses among the secondary and primary schools. We may not have made a big boast out of it, but it's a way, again, of really fostering and promoting agriculture as one of the best way of life of our people. Once we have food security, we have life. And they tell you what you eat, if you grow foods from the earth, you will see that the need for medications will become less, and you will see a reduction in the chronic non-communicable diseases that are plaguing our population so much. And so, Bloombox, as we said, We are here. Our numbers are, if you want to find us, our Goodwill branch number is 235-3480. Our Rosa branch is 235-3483. And our email address is info, that is info, at bloom, BLOOM, box.com. So the email address is info@gobloombox.com. And as we say, we are Dominica's leading supplier of farm, garden, and agricultural solutions that you need and I need. A better, greener Dominica with the right food will minimize the excess of money that you spend, and at the same time ensuring that you eat the right foods at the right time
And stay healthy.
and stay healthy.
Thank you. I'm sure we'll see you again sometime soon.
Definitely. So let's bloom together with Bloombox.
Thank you
Take
very
care,
much,
everybody.
Carlton. It was a
Bye-bye.
pleasure. It was a
Definitely,
pleasure.
Matt.
Good to hear your voice. Thank you.
Fuel your farm with premium animal feeds at Blue Box. We're excited to announce a major expansion to our lineup. Blue Box Farm and Garden Center is now your go-to supplier for high-quality animal feed. From poultry to livestock, we provide the specialized nutrition your animal needs to thrive. Our feed portfolio includes poultry solutions, swine care, small pet and livestock. Visit Blue Box in Roseau on the corner of Hanover Street and Drury Lane, or Blue Box Goodwill, 66 Federation Drive, Goodwill. Let's bloom together.
The hurricane season is upon us. Q95 FM Radio, your lifeline during the hurricane season. Stay informed and stay prepared.
Best things happen when we crunch together. So crunch and share the love of KFC's bucket together. $45 gets you 6 pieces of chicken, 2 fries, 1 corn, 1 biscuit. With KFC, there's always chances to win big. 3 winners, 3 destinations for an all-expense-paid trip with Sunrise Airways, St. Martin Carnival, St. Kitts Music Festival, and Lucian Carnival. $1,500 spending cash, hotel accommodation, event tickets, and ground transportation. All you have to do is purchase a bucket together. Write your name and phone number at the back of your receipt and drop it in the drop box. KFC's finger licking good.
I have a surprise from one the road can fly. Bob makes all of them die. Don't bother with the long chat, Bob tell you why. Bob makes all of them die.
Times are hard, but you've got to include Bob on your grocery list to protect you and your family against all flying and crawling insects, especially dengue mosquitoes. Bob's powerful formula kills insects fast. Bob is best on pests.
Bob makes all of them die.
Get serious. Get Bob.
Bob make all of them die.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We're ready.
We're ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready. We're ready.
We are ready.
We are ready. The season of big matches and big moments. Watch the World Cup live on Digital Plus TV. The front row seat to every match, every moment. Digital Plus TV, bringing you closer to the game you love.
Tio Kubule, essa nunca foi. Tio Kubule, essa mulher foi. Ele Kubule, nunca te levou. Selma Kubule, pave ali encore. Bacalate, bacalate, bacalate. Tio não é Kubule. Bacalate, bacalate, bacalate. Tio não é Kubule. Bacalate, bacalate, bacalate. No me Kubule. Bacalate, bacalate, bacalate. Nunca foi Kubule.
Drink responsibly. Madam Boboy Madi, locally, he put a Brights and Company. Yele Rice and Company, the only company I know with Brights was cooking motor and back and neck. Now with the last valley short, I said Brights. In the old plus nefla where you have a roofing material and seamless gutter ring. Yes, 24 gauge governors, all colors. Ever open Nipu gas peel agent, they program the computer to give you the exact size you want. And the seamless guttering aluminum that can better withstand the elements you have in an easy way. So no leaking after a while. And so much more. Brights and Company, the by 8 bank close to the old mill at Enfield. Telephone 617-2468.
All right, Dominica. For those of you celebrating birthdays today, happy birthday. I heard Mr. Deshaun St. Clair in St. Lucia celebrating his birthday today. Happy birthday to you. From your mother, Teresa Charles, Granny Justina Evans, and your papa, Jean, your brothers, Diamond, Dante, and your sister, Gabriella, wishing him a blessed day today. So happy birthday to you, Deshaun Sinclair. Now, Dominica, let me give you an update as it relates to Domlec. I know these days you don't like to hear that word, right? Here's the latest update. Re-outages, or the outage of Thursday, 18th June 2026. It came in about an hour ago. Domlec apologizes to customers whose power was not restored by 10 a.m. this morning. This delay is due to generation capacity constraints, which we expect to have resolved by 1 p.m. today, at which time your service will be restored to all affected. Domlec again apologizes to all affected and regrets any inconvenience caused. Thank you for your patience and understanding. Affected areas: Castle Bruce, Wesley, Check Hall to Belfast, and Snug Corner to Bacatal. All right, Dominique, at this time, I'm sure you must have followed the news conference of the United Workers' Party this morning at 11 o'clock. A lot of kudos from the news conference as the party introduced 3 members of potential power reps or nominated candidates. And this afternoon, before we go, we're going to present you the voices of these 3 candidates as introduced by the president, Mr. Sanford. Many commented it was some time that we saw all smile on the faces of many supporters of the United Workers' Party. So let's first present the Roseau nominee, Mrs. Schillenfeld. Vying for the Roseau Central seat.
Around a shared vision and have the courage to act. They happen when people have the courage to vote for necessary change, and leadership matters. It has taught me that progress begins when people believe that better is possible. I am standing here today because I refuse to lower my expectations for Roseau Central. I share the people's vision for a city that works, for a city that welcomes. So as we prepare for the upcoming elections, I encourage every eligible citizen to play their part. If you are not yet registered, get registered. If you are already registered, take the time to confirm that your name is on the new voters list. Stay engaged, stay informed, stay part of the conversation. And on election day, go out and vote. Because democracy works best when people take ownership of their future. The people of Roseau Central deserve better leadership. They deserve better representation and better outcomes. Together we can build a more vibrant and a more prosperous Roseau. So let us move Roseau Central forward with UWP. I have to say this one. Hashtag Julie for the city.
Julie for the city.
Julie for the city, ladies and gentlemen. Workers for Dominica. Real work has to start in this country. And we have closed ranks, ladies and gentlemen, in the United Workers' Party. We have raised our shield and our swords are ready. We are ready for the battle. We're ready to save this country. At this point, I would like to welcome our newest candidate to the team, Mr. Delbert Parry.
Thank you, Mr. President. Political leader, members of the head table, members of the press. Matt, it's good to see you. I heard you were looking for me. Workers, good morning. Good to be here. Let me say good morning to all those of you who are listening online, but particularly to the people of the Marigot constituency, the good people of Marigot and Concord. Good morning to you. I know that you're listening online. Ladies and gentlemen, over the past few days, reflecting on why we're here, reflecting on the process we've gone through, I found myself reflecting and remembering a young boy from a close-knit community, raised in a small church that taught him the values of hard work, honesty, integrity, and service to your fellow man. This is why standing here today, it is surreal, because I never thought that these values learned in a community a few miles away from here, the same values that I tried to instill and use and stand on, would be the same values and enduring principles and lessons that would land me here, where the people of a formidable constituency would entrust me, would believe in me, the same community that challenged me and nurtured me and grew me up, would say, you are the one we think should carry our banner. For that unanimous decision, for that level of confidence, I want to tell the people of the Marigot constituency, the good people of Marigot and Concord, thank you. Thank you for raising me. Thank you for raising me, challenging me, scolding me when it was necessary, and then putting your trust in me. I don't take this honor lightly. It's a very serious one. And I want to commit to you that everything you have put in me, I will use it to do the best job that I can. In service to the constituency and in service to our country that we continue to help to build. The constituency of Marigot is a remarkable community. A remarkable community that throughout Dominica's history continues to demonstrate significant level of social and political maturity. It's never been one, check the history, it's never been a community that followed blindly or had any sort of blind allegiances. We listen, we question, we debate, and sometimes we argue, and then we decide together for the betterment of our community and country always. That, ladies and gentlemen, Marigot people, that is the Marigot spirit. A spirit to always make sure that the collective good is what surfaces. That everyone, every man, every woman, every child is looked after and taken care of, and the best interest of everyone involved is what we should be looking out for. Today, I have some big shoes to fill. There's some giants who come before me who have stood on podiums like this, who have been entrusted with this mandate to carry the banner of Margaret, and by extension, United Workers' Party. I'd like to pay tribute to the Right Honorable Edison James. And Honorable Lennox Linton. Very, very big, giant shoes to fill and to walk after. So I would hasten to say I do not seek to replace them. They have left an indelible mark not just on the constituency, but on the country and the region, by the type of service and sacrifices that they have offered. What I seek to do, ladies and gentlemen, is to write our own story. Every generation is required to write your own story, to write your own paragraph, to add to the history and to make your mark. And I am humbled to accept this nomination and to do my part in writing this story on behalf of my generation. Today, that story will be written together with the United Workers' Party. A party that is built and was built on principles of good governance, accountability, respect, transparency, prosperity for all. That is what our party, our political organization, was built on. And I'm proud to accept the nomination to serve as the candidate for the Margaret constituency in the next general election, together with the United Workers' Party. We have brought good governance to Dominica before. Money was meeting money before. And I pledge, ladies and gentlemen, to do everything in my power to make sure that we do it again. It's not easy, and we wouldn't be delusional to believe it's a walk in the park. But we were built for this. We have endured for times like this, and now is the time. We're here together, like the president said, we close ranks, and we're going to do this together with every ounce of sweat that we have. Ladies and gentlemen, I would love to stay and talk, but I have a limited time. Before I get off the stage, before I get off the podium, we have some work to do. Not just in Margaret, but in Roseau North, in Roseau Central, around Dominica. We have two great people sitting here with us. So plenty great people, but I just talking about these two for now. And we have work to do in these constituencies. So here's my call. Everyone of voting age, if you have not been confirmed yet, go and get confirmed. Our right to vote and to participate in the democracy that we have fought for and our ancestors have fought for, Carlisle, is not just about putting a mark on a paper. Right, man? It's about ensuring that we write our story. It's not leaving it up to politicians to make decisions for us. And the future of Dominica, henceforth, will no longer be written by politicians. It will be written by the good people of Dominica who have Dominica's future at heart. So no long story. Go and get confirmed. My young people, I know that you're disillusioned. I know. We're not going to be hypocrite about it. We understand. It's not looking good. But that is exactly why you should get registered. That is exactly why you should let your voice be heard. Because it is your duty. Our ancestors fought to put us on this platform, and we cannot take the right that we inherited for granted. Go and get registered to vote today. People of Margaret, Concord, you already know what we have to do, and we're well on our way. We had some things to sort out, we sorted it out. And we on our way. We are on our way because the future of Dominica, what Dominica will look like 20 years from now depends on what we do now. Lottery have a slogan, you have to be in it to win it. But you have to vote to talk. Your voice is in your vote. That is where it is. Let's get ourselves, let's rally together, and let's make the change that we want to see. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, when history is called, and it is recalled, and they ask us, what did you do? We should be the ones to say that we stood for Dominica. We did the right thing by our future children and grandchildren. Not because we have something that we are passing down to them, but the future of Dominica is one we have borrowed from them, and we need to give them something that is worth being proud of. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Marigot. See you on the ground.
Thank you, Marigold. We'll see you on the ground. That was Mr. Delbert Paris. We'll present Mr. Danny Luga in a minute, but I think I missed out on some of the comments there from Ms. Shillingford in Rosal. Let's share that with you at this time before we get to Danny.
Stand here, someone who believes that our city, in the heart of it is Rosal Central, deserves better leadership, better representation, and better outcomes. I was born and raised in Rosal Central. My navel string is buried somewhere in MO4, and I grew up in MO3. So you can tell where my mind is, right? All over that voters list. I have an affinity for Rosal Central and the urban environment. My first degree from McGill University is in urban systems, and I pursued graduate studies at York University to get a degree in human settlement planning. For many years, I served as chief planner. But I stand here not so much as a planner that understands the workings of a city. I stand before you as an ordinary citizen, asking a simple question, one that many of you have probably asked yourself over the years. After all these years under the Labour Party governance, if this is their best where Roseau is concerned, why are so many people struggling? Why are our young people unemployed and leaving? Why are businesses fighting to stay open? Why are families working harder and enjoying less? And if we have to talk about the physical conditions of our city, why are our streets and sidewalks still awaiting rehabilitation after nearly 3 decades? Why are we still plagued with traffic and parking challenges? Why do we continue to see more people living on our streets, struggling with mental illness without meaningful solutions? The list is long, but I will spare you because you're already familiar with the list. You face it every day. The truth is simple. Roseau Central has been neglected. Roseau Central has not been a priority, and the people of Roseau Central deserve better. We deserve better. The politics of the day has perhaps taught some of us to lower our expectations, to settle for less, to accept problems that have lingered for years as though nothing can be done without them, about them. Take the 10 vendors on the Bayfront. I spoke to almost every one of them. What was intended to be a temporary arrangement, at least I imagine so, has become a seemingly permanent one. Surely, after all this time, we can do better. I stand here to ask the people of Roseau Central to raise your expectations. Demand more. Expect more, because you deserve more. But I did not come here today simply to talk about problems. I came to talk about possibilities. I see our river as an asset that we have turned our back on. I see our cultural and architectural heritage in the city as an economic opportunity. I see our young people as skilled innovators and entrepreneurs. I see our businesses of all sizes as partners in development. I see a cleaner city. I see a safer city. I see a greener city. I see a healthier city, a more vibrant city, a city that works, a city where businesses can thrive,
A city where families can prosper, a city that is livable, welcoming, and full of opportunity. That is the Roseau I see. And that is the Roseau I believe we can build together. At one of my first meetings with my Roseau Central crew, one of the members said, "We want Roseau to be a city that people want to visit." And that touched me. That comment was layered with disappointment, but it glimmered with hope. Thus far in my walkarounds, the people's vision is unfolding. I am not offering politics as usual because I'm not a politician. Politics is far too important to be left to the politicians. I am offering competence. I am offering accountability. I am offering practical action. I am offering leadership that listens and is focused on getting things done. We need to move Roseau Central forward. Life has taught me that better outcomes do not happen by chance. They happen when people come together around a shared vision and have the courage to act. They happen when people have the courage to vote for necessary change, and leadership matters. It has taught me that progress begins when people believe that better is possible. I am standing here today because I refuse to lower my expectations for Roseau Central. I share the people's vision for a city that works, for a city that welcomes. So as we prepare for the upcoming elections, I encourage every eligible citizen to play their part. If you are not yet registered, get registered. If you're already registered, take the time to confirm that your name is on the new voters list. Stay engaged, stay informed, stay part of the conversation. And on election day, go out and vote. Because democracy works best when people take ownership of their future. The people of Roseau Central deserve better leadership. They deserve better representation and better outcomes. Together we can build a more vibrant and a more prosperous Roseau. So let us move Roseau Central forward with UWP. I have to say this one. Hashtag Julie for the city.
Julie for the city again. Just thought I would, of course, play back some of the comments I missed earlier. Listen to, of course, Mr. Sanford introducing our next speaker at this time.
Paris, welcome aboard. We're pushing forward. Roseau North, make your vote count. Ali register, Ali confirm. Ladies and gentlemen, we have lived the circumstance in the United Workers' Party for the last 25 years. We have suffered the victimization, we have suffered this discrimination, and Danny Luque has been one of us that has faced it all. They even said to send him to jail. But we said what? More votes for Danny. Danny has survived the circumstance that sadly the opponent hasn't had. She has been sheltered. So the man for Roseau North, man enough for Roseau North, is Danny Luque. Make him feel welcome.
Thank you, Mr. President, political leader, Dr. Fountain, and my colleagues who have me shivering. Now, very, very good, you know. It's good to listen. We know about Delbert, but that's the first time I'm hearing Juliet, and I have no doubt you will win your city. Very aggressive. And we need people like that to represent us. Aggression. Okay, when we're facing a mountain, we got to be aggressive. To everything, there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time for war and a time for peace. Now is the time for healing. And so today we unite our collective will to the greater purpose, a joint commitment to national unity. When I speak with the people of Rosenau, all they want to see is Team Dominica working together. Yes, we have our differences. Yes, we have our disagreements at times. Yet, we pledge today to work towards the greater good of putting our people first. 27 years is a long time for this generation of youth to be in the valley of economic depression. 27 years have been a nightmare of economic woes for ordinary Dominicans. 27 years has been still stolen away from our youth. 27 years of economic decline for small and medium-sized businesses all over this land. Yet for a hand-picked few, 27 years of accumulated millions for the new class of CBI passport millionaires. Evidence of such state abuse seen in the long lines rushing into a Labour Party constituency office on Federation Drive, Goodwill, for the past few days. But your formidable team, Team Dominica, together with you the people, will break that cycle of hand-to-mouth poverty. Team Dominica will restore hope for our youth to once again make a living in this our land. We will create new opportunities for young entrepreneurs in light manufacturing, in music and culture, in agriculture, in water industries, in indigenous industries, in tourism and fishing. Vendors will have a new home. Sports, music, arts and culture will take priority over rum and siwo. Indigenous doctors and healthcare providers will once again be respected and encouraged to make Dominica their permanent and preferred place of work. Dominica for Dominicans first, while others are welcome to share in our economic space. Team Dominica collectively pledge today to recommit to a people's first agenda, setting aside any obstacle to the goal of economic independence and shared prosperity for all. God bless our great party. God bless you, the people, and God bless the Commonwealth of Dominica.
Thank you very much, Mr. Luge. Short to the point, sweet. We are going to put more money in people's pocket as a United Workers Party government. One team, one vision, shared prosperity for all Dominicans. Ladies and gentlemen, leading that charge is none other than Dr. Thompson Fontaine, the doctor of economics. And let that sink in. Not only is he brilliant academically to achieve a PhD, but in economics. Carry his dashing in Grand Fond, carry his box of fig to go to school, had his hard time in Roseau, Goodwill, and the other places in town, but determined to make it. And he is back. Unpredictable to the Labour Party. They don't know what to expect. But what we know for sure, he's qualified for the job. Yes. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it's no joke. These guys are busy managing their corruption, their own ways of keeping things covered while they play psychological games with the people. But we are suffering economically. And the man to bring the plan and get the economy working again so that we may have better lives in Dominica is Dr. Thompson Fontaine.
Good morning to everyone assembled there. It's good to see all of you. To the head table Honorable Luge, Honorable Paris, and our newcomer Juliet Shellingford, our fellow members of the National Executive Committee, fellow supporters, people of Dominica, a very good welcome to this historic press conference, where we get to present to the people of Dominica part of a dedicated team of men and women who are prepared for the next chapter to be written in the history of our country. You will find in Team Dominica a remarkable blend of youth, experience, and competence. But above all, you will find a group of persons who are committing themselves to lead the country out of a position of declining economic growth, poverty, and high levels of youth unemployment. So on this day, I call upon the people of Dominica everywhere to join us in our goal of making our country a better, stronger, and more prosperous place for all of us. As we face a potential by-election in the Rosal North constituency, I call upon the constituents to send a strong message to this government by rejecting the DLP candidate. Let us rally around our candidate, Danny Luge, a man who has earned your trust through his steady representation on your behalf in Parliament for about 10 years. And here he is again, and as we saw this morning, ready for the fight and ready to do it all over again. Let us begin, Dominica, to rally in Rosal North to lay that foundation of bringing into office a group of dedicated men and women who are prepared to rise to the noble occasion of nation building. To the wonderful people of Marigat, I say, thank you for giving us two potentially powerful candidates in Honorable Delbert Paris and Miss Annie Edwards, to whom I say thank you. We therefore welcome this morning Honorable Delbert Paris, who continues to show a commitment to a better Dominica through his representation in Parliament. And we have no doubt that he will commit himself to giving great representation to the people of Marigat as well as to the people of Dominica. Honorable Paris, we are delighted to have you. We welcome you on board, and we thank you for committing to working together as part of Team Dominica. To the Rosal Central constituents, who have shown in the past a willingness to support the United Workers' Party, I urge you to embrace a committed and exceptional professional in the person of Ms. Julia Shellingford. Oh, I'm sure after hearing her this morning, everybody is shaking their head, nodding. That is it. That is it. That is it. And I know that already she has thrown herself into the task of winning the support. She's walking the streets of Rosal. She's entering the business places, entering the homes that she's so familiar with in looking for the support of the Rosal constituents, and we encourage you to provide that support. Dominicans, the United Workers' Party Team Dominica offers to the people of this great country the 10 pillars to shared prosperity. This is a plan that is targeted to deliver strong economic growth, provide thousands of new jobs, rescue our young people, and allow for prosperity for all by ensuring that everyone can earn good wages and salaries. To show our commitment to the young people of this country, in the next few weeks, we will be unveiling the Youth Symposium, where the United Workers' Party will offer support to the young people of this country who want to start a business and who wants to begin to earn an income in this country. My fellow Dominicans, we shall tackle the high cost of living by radically changing
and simplifying our tax system. We will remove a $10,000 environmental tax on the backs of the Dominican people. We will raise the minimum wage to at least $12 an hour, pursue debt relief to reduce our rising debt burden, ensure that our local truckers, our skills persons, our unskilled tradesmen have first bite at any other. And above all, we will provide opportunities to our young people to put them to work and keep them here in Dominica to help us in the vision of developing this country. To the hundreds of national employment NEP workers across Dominica, we thank you for your efforts and for your work in keeping our country clean, in taking care of our elderly citizens, and otherwise contributing to nation building. Contrary to what you have heard, the United Workers' Party wishes to assure you that we will not take away your livelihoods from you, but instead we will transform the NEP program into one that provides skills for you, one that provides better wages and improved opportunities to build a comfortable life for you and for your family. My fellow Dominicans, at the heart of the 10 pillars to shared prosperity is a radical improvement in agriculture, development of a sustainable water industry, reigniting the manufacturing sector, developing our cultural and Kalinago peoples, ensuring that our natural energy resources are used and used efficiently so that Domlec stays up 24 hours, 24/7. And of course, accountable government, a government that we will be proud of, and one that will adopt a zero corruption policy from day one. My fellow Dominicans, we will put an end to a government for the few and privileged, to a government for all Dominicans, where once again we can rise from the depths of poverty and despair to a proud nation that takes care of its people. Our plan is a big and bold one that will transform this country, and that is why we gather here at this time, this morning, so that we can look on with great pride and gratitude to our three candidates who will help us on that journey. But we have more to come, much more to come, because in the weeks and days ahead, we will be unveiling additional powerful candidates with the same mix of youth, experience, and competence. A team that will no doubt capture the imagination and admiration of the Dominican public. This is a team that will show through its action that it truly cares about the people of Dominica. This is the team, I can assure you, my fellow Dominicans, that is prepared to go to work from day one. A team that will dismantle the long lines at the Red Clinic and replace it with lines of persons eagerly making their way to work in the mornings at the factories and all places of employment that this dream team will put together. In closing, I call upon you, my fellow Dominicans, to not be distracted by a failed government that has quite clearly lost its way and plunged our country into despair, but instead embrace the vision for a better Dominica, one that puts money into the pockets of our Dominican people through their own hard work and sacrifice. Together, let us build. Together, let us restore. And together, let us restore our great country. And let me just say finally to all of Dominica, go out there, get confirmed, get registered, and get ready for a start of a new day in Dominica.
Well, you just heard Mr. Thompson Fontaine, and before that, you heard Danny Lugay, and before that, Delbert Paris, and it's a Delbert Paris, and before that, Mr. Schillenford representing Roseau Central seat. Comments like, I feel a breath of fresh air in the air. I'm going to take your comments at this time. The UWP, your website is on the front to do your organization. If the door is broken, what does it say about your readiness to lead? Pull your socks up, Dominica. We need excellence, no excuses. A breath of fresh air to Dominica. I cannot wait to see Dominicans under the leadership of Dr. Thompson Fontaine, Team Dominica. Let's take a few calls. Are you there, caller? Yes?
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. How are you doing? Greetings.
Greetings to you, brother. How are you doing?
I give him thanks. Everything. Okay, I listened to the press conference this morning. And I like the journalist momentum. They must keep it up. They mustn't try and grill Thompson Fontaine, and when they are in front of security, giving them a comedy show. So they must stop the comedy show and ask him the questions, and when he cannot answer it, tell them, Mr. Prime Minister, I'll ask you a question. Please answer the question. Because I could hear Mr. Kalai begging for an answer. He didn't answer me. He didn't answer the question. He must have to scare it as well. They mustn't pick and choose or cherry pick. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon to you. 4493095, 4493096, 4493097, 616-4257. These are some, of course, the numbers you can call to get through. Again, we just make sure every line is working at this time. 4493095, 4493096, 4493097. I think you want to hear some of the questions based on the last caller's comments. So let's listen to some of the questions asked at a news conference.
Of the Almighty, we shall do it. Ladies and gentlemen, we pass that baton to you now to take up the charge. Go get registered. Go get confirmed. Get the young people to go registered. There is hope. We have the human resource talent if we use it well. We have the natural resources, which we have to use well. And there will be efficiency and no corruption, as you heard. So we are ready, ladies and gentlemen. I know the media is well satisfied. I don't expect them to have any questions. But we will show that we appreciate them enough to allow them a few questions. So the floor is open now for any questions from the media.
Let me just ask again, congratulations to you guys.
won't go for the NRC and take my seat. Julius, I saw you ground and you look very confident. I want to ask you the question. How confident you are about the local scene? What do you tell me about that?
Sorry. The feedback I'm getting on the it's even surprising. It's easy. I'm fitting right in, doing what I have to do. Yeah. Oh, my vision for the city. When I let go one thing, I can't say too much. But I'll tell you for now that I am listening. I am putting all the people's vision together, and we're going to come up with something that's doable, actionable, and that will respond to the needs of the citizens. Both those that live in Roseau and those that come in every day to work. It'll definitely be the people's vision. I can't say too much more than that.
The representation that we're
My
biggest disappointment thus far.
No, nothing. Nothing. I have no disappointments.
With the people, the representation. The current representation.
But I spoke about it in my speech. I just think more could be done. They've had a lot of time to do basic things like the road reinstatement project. I mean, come on, that's there since the late 90s. I worked on this thing in the 90s. There's no reason why it cannot be up and running. When I worked with Mr. Timothy in 2009, 2010 as urban renewal consultant, we had proposals to start the road reinstatement project, and it just never got off. Priority was given to something else, like the State House. We did quite a bit together, but the main thing that we wanted to do, it wasn't prioritized.
My question is for the Dr. Thompson. The United Workers' Party stayed away from the last general elections because basically it did not contest on the unholy, so to speak. It appears that a by-election, if called now, based on the Constitution of Dominica, it may well be contested under the same lease, the old lease. Any ideas why you think that you have changed your mind in terms of contesting the polls, this by-election under the old lease?
Now let's be clear about this. Step back, but I can let's be clear about change our minds about the fact that we have a horrible system, electoral system here in Dominica. We have not changed our minds about the need for it to change and for clean voters list to be given to the people of Dominica. But they have to weigh this against the immediacy of now. In other words, we are going into a possible by-election where we want to send a very strong message, not only to the Labour Party government, but to the people of Dominica, that the United Workers' Party is taking a seat back in Rosenau. And this is the start of taking back the entire.
A follow-up question you would please ask, because you also mentioned that the possibility of a by-election. You are aware also that there's the possibility of a general election. If that comes, obviously it's going to come within the 90-day span. Will you or will your party take part in that general election, which, if called within the 90-day span, is going to be under the old list?
Yes, well, we have already said that repeatedly that we will take part in the next election, whether it's in 3 months or 12, 13, 14 months, we will participate in the next election. That is why we are building a competent team to do just that. A team that will catch, as I said, the imagination of the Dominican public. Because they will see a team of persons that are committed to Dominica, a team of persons who will be accountable to them, and a team of persons that are working together in unity. So I think it's a great time for Dominica. And whilst the whole electoral process has been a hurdle, we believe that it is time for this country to pivot. It is time to get us out from all the hence the reason why we absolutely have to participate in the next election. And only participate, by the way, win the next election.
Yeah, Dr. Fountain, in light of the olive branch we've heard about over the last 2 weeks, could we possibly see the likes of Lennox, Linton, Edison, James, and others in the by-election campaign?
Absolutely, Matt. I keep saying Matt. I keep saying Curtis, the fact of the matter is the olive branch so extended has been accepted by the members of the party, and we are now working together in unison to remove this Labour Party government.
Yeah, but you've not answered my question. My question is there a possibility that in light of this olive branch, we may see Edison, James, Lennox, Linton, and others?
Well, part of this working together is just that. Yeah, absolutely. It goes without saying that part of the working together. Yes.
Yeah. You've declared three possible candidates. Three candidates. What about you? Where you as the leader, you've not said anything yet.
Oh yes, I've been representing for the Grandpa River Civic Manjan constituency. Yes.
So it's now official.
Absolutely.
You also looking at, according to you, forming the next government. In terms of the seats you're looking at, because obviously you need 11 seats to form a government. You need 11 seats to form a government. Can you give us an idea of the seats that you are hoping to win to form that government?
You know, Kalai, thank you for that question.
Yeah, we can for you.
Thank you for that question. But we want it all. We want it all. We want all. And we're going after it all. And we will have it all.
Dr. Fountain, if the UWP were to win the next general elections...
Did you say if?
Yes, if. How will the government of the UWP approach the Citizenship by Investment Program? You've spoken a lot about the CBI program. It's out there all around the world. We would like to find out, we, on behalf of Martin Kalai and my friend reporters, every other reporter, we would like to find out how you would approach the CBI program.
Curtis, the CBI program, from all intents and purposes, is coming to an end. It is clear that this program is not sustainable. And you will have noticed that in our 10 pillars to shared prosperity, we do not even have it in there because we believe it is on its way out. It is true that it accounts for some 60% of government revenues, but within our 10-pillar plan is a plan to pivot away from that heavy dependence on the CBI and instead rely on our agriculture, on our water, on our manufacturing, on our artificial intelligence, on our young people doing the work in that space. So it is clear to me that we'll have a pivot away from the CBI program. What we will do is that we will do it responsibly. We will phase it out gradually because the CBI has caused us a lot of pain and suffering. And not because it was not a good program when it was first developed and it worked under our own government, but it is clear that this particular government has focused in the wrong areas. Dominica is now considered to be a threat a security threat to the United States. Our citizens are now being denied access to the United States. This month and last month was graduation month in the United States, and hundreds of our young people graduating could not have the pleasure of their families being there with them. People are getting sick here in Dominica, and the option of going to the United States is no more. Persons who dreamed of going to SME or convent or Isaiah, wherever it is, and getting to the college and moving on to study in the United States, they cannot do that this year because of the wrong-headedness of Roosevelt Skerrit and this government. And so the pain and suffering has been inflicted upon the people of Dominica because of the CBI. And if you add on top of that, the fact that they're only seeing a fraction of this working for the people of Dominica, it is time to begin to pivot away from this. But it will be responsible, it will be gradual, but it will eventually happen. And let Dominicans build themselves up by their own bootstraps, by which I mean let them go to the factories to work, let them go to the fields to work, let them do what they have to do to build this country with their own hands and not going into this area of security and really messing up the whole world, if you like, the system. Because that's what we've done. We are now a pariah state to the rest of this world. And this is horrible. And the Dominican public, I should add, really must punish this government for bringing them into that condition. We will continue to work, and what Dr. Tutu said, we will continue to work with the U.S. government. I have traveled twice so far this year to the United States of America, where we've been able to meet with high-ranking officials of the U.S. State Department, with medical officials here in Barbados, in the U.S. Embassy, with a clear message to them that the United Workers' Party government will be responsible where the CBI is concerned, and really seeking ways in which we can remove that pressure under which the Dominican citizenry is now exposed. And we are hopeful that this will happen in time and that we'll get this relief. But I see it coming on the United Workers' Party government. All the more reason, by the way, why the vote of the Dominican public is going to be critical in the next election.
Dr. Thompson? Huh? You can close and ask me a question. I still have questions from Mr. Delvin and everybody. But anyway, I know we are running out of time because of but Mr. Thompson, Dr. Thompson Fontaine, we have seen, and of course, the candidate for the Roseau North constituency has indicated good enough that that we've seen a lot of videos going out there that the Labour Party, no secret, is spreading some joy, if you understand what I mean in quotations there. How are you going to counter? Because election these days are has become very transactional. So you need my vote, I give you something. How are you guys going to counter that?
Matt, these videos bring no joy to me. No joy to see our people being reduced to standing in line to receive handouts. That is not how you build a country. That is not how you build pride and confidence in people. And so we will work to dismantle that. As I said when I spoke earlier, we'll work to dismantle this red clinic so that the people of Dominica will not expect handouts from us, but they will expect jobs that they can go to work and then live themselves up. That is what we offer to the Dominican public. It is unfortunate that we are where we are with our politics. I don't believe that's a good way to go. That what we're offering is so much more than a $500 or a television that could be offered now. You get a television, and then for the next 5 years, you can look at it because your light is always coming. It makes no sense. But if you have a job, a responsible government that is creating opportunities for the people consistently, they can buy the television sets, they can have hundreds of dollars to save in the banking system, they can travel, and they can build better lives. And that is what we're about. Ladies and gentlemen, the choice has never been clearer with respect to a government that we have and a government that we have been waiting. The government that we have been waiting is going to transform this country in a way that we can all be proud. When Dominicans see those videos that you speak about, they hang their head in shame. But it's shameful. That is not what I want to show to the rest of the world. I don't want the rest of the world to think of our country as a mendicant society. I want them to think of Dominica as a place where people work, a place where people get up in the morning and go to work because they want to send their children to school, not to go to a government to send their children to school, but to go to work by the dint of their effort, by the work of their hands. And by the way, that's in the Bible. Huh? The Bible says, by the sweat of thy brow, thou shalt eat bread. And I believe in that as a very fundamental cornerstone for us in this United Workers' Party team, Dominica, that we provide opportunities for our people, move them away from this mendicancy, and they will have enough, not only for themselves, but to build their families and to build this country.
Dr. Fountain, finally, I'm told that your party is struggling for new candidates in you just don't answer whether it's true or not. That your party is struggling for new candidates in the Kalinago territory, Collyho, Trafalgar, St. Joseph, by the way, and Salisbury, and one or two other areas. You probably want to react to that, what I've been told.
Curtis, I hate to disappoint you, but your information is completely false. I just stood there and told you and told all of Dominica that in the next couple of weeks we'll continue to enroll our candidates. People are putting up their hands in constituency after constituency. Persons who you never imagined wanting to get involved in politics. You saw a result of this story. Never thought she would be. She says she's not a politician, but she put up her hand in the Rosa Central. We had candidates in Marigot, we had candidates in the Rosa North, candidates all across putting up their hands. And that is a very positive sign for us. It shows that people are supporting us. And I can tell you, you are going to get some serious candidates in the next few weeks. You're going to see and you're going to say, wow, I can guarantee that. So we are not struggling for candidates, contrary to what you've heard. We have people who are literally, fighting out for the words to get to be the candidate in all of these constituencies. And we're very happy for that. It shows the signs of a very healthy party, the party that is, and that's, by the way, one of the ways you can test the health of a party and whether or not it is poised to win the next election, by the number of persons who are putting their hands up to serve with that party. And then we're both propositions.
You spoke about winning the next general election. Have you done any polls thus far? Also, do you intend to work with other political parties as it relates to the next general election, or even the by-election, the possible by-election? Do you intend to work with any other political party?
We are intending, and we have started to work with the opposition forces. We believe that there should be a united opposition tackling this government. Bear in mind, this government has the strength, if you like, of incumbency. They've been there for 25 years. They know how to buy out elections. So we have to ensure that we have the support and the working together of all in opposition. And that is what we are going to offer. We definitely believe that we will be successful in that. Because at the end of the day, Curtis, the writing is on the wall for this government. The writing is on the wall that this labor of despair, this labor of unemployment, failed government is on its way. The Dominican public affair. And you will see in the coming days and weeks as well, the number of persons who once supported the Labour Party come in and show publicly their support for the United Workers' Party. That's all. So we stand at a great point.
Yeah, but you answered my first question really cool.
We continue to do that.
Have you done one yet? And do you intend to do one?
As a responsible political party, polling is a natural part of the process. We will continue to do that.
Have you done one? Have you done one? No. The question is a matter, but we ask you the party don't want. You did one when you did it.
So, why do you think I'm...
When was it done? That's what we ask you. When was that done?
Okay, but I will ask Caroline, why do you think I'm so confident? You actually press a question and you're here to answer the question. I'm asking the question. Why do you think I'm so confident about winning? But he's not answering the question. Don't you think? I know the answer. Don't you think? If I answer it for you, what answer you want? All right. What I think, Mela, is why do you think I'm so confident? It's because we are seeing the signs everywhere. What the polls are telling us, what the people are telling us.
Last election, there was not last election. The election before that, there was a poll. Yes, and there was a lot of talk, even of cleaning the office of the Prime Minister. What would be done? Who would go and clean it? And then the result was that, whoops! So, the results of our polls.
Yes. But wait and see. Wait and see.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Fountain. We have used up our hour very efficiently. I was really expecting a little more questions on the 10-pillar plan and how the economy is going to brighten up. You guys are not in tune with the economy like the government is, right? They are on the same page, all right? So we are working towards the victory, and I thank everybody who has all the press for showing up.
All right, Dominic, you just heard the conclusion of the news conference of the United Workers' Party. We're going to take a few calls before, of course, we wrap it up. It's 20 to the hour of 3. Hello, talk to me. Yes. Good afternoon.
Hello?
Yes?
Hello?
I'm here. Why are you shouting?
Oh. Sorry. Sorry about that. Good afternoon, Matt. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It's been a while I didn't call. But, Matt, to your partner Curtis, I hope when Roosevelt Scary don't answer his question, for him to remind him that he didn't answer the question. But I want to congratulate Thompson Fountain for bringing the team together. Because some people try to demonize Edison James and Lennox Linton, Spraggs, and the rest. So I really happy that Thompson Fountain get everybody on the same page and let's move on. I also want to congratulate Paris for recognizing Edison James and Lennox Linton, man. That is asset we have, we cannot ignore. They play their part, and we have to thank them and respect them for that. And Matt, another thing again, the main problem I have, let's say they call a by-election, and the registration list is not ready, Matt. All those people that stop from registering, those 18-year-old first-time voters, they are not going to be on that list, Matt. Somebody should take Scary to court, you know. And I want to support Nassif for calling on the resignation of the chairman, Duncan Stowe, and the chief electoral officer. Man, that is really nonsense. You cannot deprive people of the right to vote. The law, they break the law. Man, if I break the law, I conceal a cookie or a candy. They meet me how many pounds of marijuana, man. Till I go in, this guy's breaking the law over and over and over again. And nobody is punishing them for it, man. And let me pick up Donny Luga one time because Donny Luga song really impressive. He calm, collective, sincere. But I like Donny. But let me pick up Lennox Linton, the whole crew. United Workers Party. That's the only way forward, man. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I'm hearing there from inside sources that maybe Lennox Linton will be on the campaign trail with Danny Luge. They will dismiss most of your suggestions, huh? I've heard in the past week. Somebody says it was a good news conference. No insults or disrespectfulness, huh? So that's all good. Maybe we'll take a few calls and we'll contact Mr. Joshua Francis. Something is going on there as it relates to the election, and just a news release about the Election Act. I think Mr. Simeon Joseph spoke to that earlier there. We'll contact Mr. Joshua Francis for 5 minutes before we wrap it up. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes?
Yes, my brother, let me speak to you there at this present moment. Yes,
Yeah.
brilliant conference, my dad. And Matthew, see the same thing I just be telling you. Use that spirit doesn't answer. And you see how Curtis doing, Kalai. Kalai, big up to you. Curtis, big up to you because why? The way you asked Thompson Fountain the question, then Kalai, it was brilliant. You know why? It was a very good, very, very good question. And you know why again? Thompson Fountain shows that he's a leader. Everything that you ask him, no no laughing, straightforward answer. Congratulations, Mr. Thompson, Lennox Lincoln, Edison James. I'm not no worker, I'm a worker. You understand? But I support good policies and country first. And United Workers Party, it is ready. Dominicans, the party is ready. Mr. Skerritt, I have been calling on you to meet the people. Come to Matt Station or let us have something in closing, Mr. Skerritt, please, by next week. Let us have something in the Botanical Gardens where the people can meet you, ask you questions, and no no laughing, nothing, and you're answering us thoroughly. In closing, Melissa, talk to your husband, please.
All right. More telephone calls. Let's take this voice note here. Yes.
Good afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
I listened to Honorable Delbert Paris, and not just today. I've been listening to him. I've been observing him, his mannerism, the caliber of person he is. I see great things in this young man. I see Prime Minister material in him, just like I saw in Cassani Laville. No, not there to take sides or anything. I'm generalizing. I see that in Cassani Laville also. Well, sometimes you might find yourself at the wrong place at the wrong time. Not that you're not good, It's just at the wrong place at the wrong time. So I just want to encourage Mr. Delbert Paris. And I will again say it. I see Prime Minister material, good leadership. I see that in the young man. But I want to leave something with him today. Okay? Matt, if you have his number, you can send that voice note to him. Sir, I want to listen to me well. Okay? Very well. A blessing is a very good thing, but can be very detrimental if it is bestowed before the appropriate time. Remember when I studied, I said, I see Prime Minister materially new. You are young, you just get in there. Sir, please, don't rush the brush. And don't let anybody rush you into it. You will get there. If I can see that, I know other persons in Dominica who have seen that in you. Okay? I know. So you will get there. But before you run, you have to creep, you have to crawl, you have to walk, you have to do all kind of things before you run, before you jump, and before you leap. It's a process, sir, Mr. Paris. It's a process. I see it in you. Pray. Keep God on your side, and you will get there, Mr. Prime Minister. one day at a time with Jesus. Young man, focus on the good of your people, being honest, being transparent, and having that great quality of humility. Be a humble individual. And maybe I might not be there for someone to tell it to me that you are the Prime Minister of Dominica. God bless you, sir, Mr. Paris. All the best.
AutoTrade. Incredible savings are here. Take advantage of AutoTrade's Thrifty Thursday promotion. Mark your calendars on the last Thursday of each month. AutoTrade is offering up to 20% off items throughout the store. Yes, 20% off. But wait, here's more. Keep your eyes peeled for our exclusive Deal of the Day offer, bringing you even bigger discounts on select items. Whether you're looking for car accessories, maintenance essentials, or just browsing for a great deal, we've got you covered. So be sure to swing by AutoTrade every last Thursday. At AutoTrade, it's more than a vehicle, it's a relationship. Terms and conditions apply.
We are open 7 days a week with the top of the line products. We are stock, supermarket and pharmacy, health and beauty care, fresh produce and meats prepared daily, hot and cold kitchen, ready to go meals, sandwiches, salads, and desserts at your fingertips. Easy access, located on the bayfront, environment friendly, and our staff are approachable and ready to assist. Have you figured out who we are? You got it. Fresh your one stop.
All right, Dominique, it's just about what time? 10 to the hour of 3 o'clock. Just before we go, I see a lot of discussions taking place there on Facebook about the Election Act. Will there be a by-election? Will there be a general election? I think I noticed that Mr. Joshua Francis, the attorney at law, has been commenting on that issue. There's a heated debate going on there on Facebook from what I noticed there. So, Joshua, can you point to us what's the issue? What's the problem? Is there a problem of the by-election or election? Will there be a by-election or an election? What can you share with us?
Well, Matt, good afternoon to you and
Good afternoon.
to your
Yes.
beloved listeners.
Mhm.
Always a pleasure to engage the public and to be part of debates and discussions so that all of us can grow together. Matt, there has been a question about whether the old voters list or the new voters list would be used during the confirmation process. Should we have the by-election or a general election? And generally, the conclusion has always been that we revert to the old voters list until the confirmation process is completed and a preliminary list of electors are published. However, a number of persons, including some of my attorneys, some of my colleagues, have had a discussion about the interpretation of the Electors Act. And in studying the Act, we have come to the conclusion that the law does not say categorically clear that the by-election is subject to the use of the old voters list. There is a legitimate question as to whether any election in Dominica prior to the end of the confirmation period, whether in October after 12 months or a further extension by another 3 months, which the electors' laws provide for, that we have to revert to the old voters list. There seems to be a favorable argument that the new list should be used. But under the laws, every 15th day of every month, a new publication is issued. I don't know whether you have been paying attention, but the Elections Office of Dominica has been publishing the list of the new electors. As you know, when someone applies to be on the new list, as it is during the confirmation process, that application is submitted to the elections office, it is vetted, and when approved, the person's name or the elector's name is published. So there is some argument that based on the interpretation of the law, that the new list should be used for any election in Dominica. It's a legitimate argument. Of course, in law, you have arguments for and against. Even where the letters of the law appear to be clear, the spirit of the law may be interpreted differently. So I just felt and feel it is necessary to draw it to the attention of the public that it is not clear that the all voters list must be used for a by-election or a general election. Of course, we would prefer that the new voters list be used, but the reality is, Matt, there are several challenges. The confirmation process has been a very, very slow process, and we have heard a number of arguments leveled by Mr. Gregor Nassif. He has written several letters to the Electoral Commission, and he has had several open letters addressing some of those issues. And today we are challenged by some of the issues which he raised. So, for example, if upon interpretation of the law, let's assume that matter were to go to a court of law, and the court says that the new voters list must be used for any election during the confirmation process. We are challenged by the fact that we have not gotten our voter ID cards. So even if a name is published on the new list, but that elector or electors have not received their voter ID cards, it means that the process is still incomplete. Therefore, it has become more urgent for the Electoral Commission to ensure that the process takes place faster, because it's really inexcusable after all these months we have not been able to get our voter ID cards pursuant to the new Electors Act of Dominica. So I believe it's a legitimate discussion that is taking place. Of course, debate is always good, because what it does, it causes our minds to be stimulated, and it allows us to learn about what's happening as far as governance in Dominica is concerned. So I'm just saying that is something that we must monitor. And I want to repeat that it is not clear that the law says that a by-election or a general election during the confirmation process is subject to an old list. Now, the question is not about whether the Prime Minister can call a by-election or a general election. The law is clear on that. The Constitution provides for the Prime Minister to issue a writ, dissolve the House, issue a writ, and advise the President of Dominica to have an election. The issue is whether we should revert to the old list or we are subject to the new list, given that we have new electoral laws, namely the Electors Act of Dominica.
What is your gut feeling as it relates to a by? Because some people are suspecting a by-election. Some people are saying it may be a call for a general election. What's your feeling on that as we go?
Well, Matt, you must understand and appreciate that politics has a lot of strategy. And we have a government that has been seated in office for the last 26 years. And the Prime Minister would be very aware that the majority of Dominicans are politically exhausted with his reign as Prime Minister. Laborites themselves have been complaining that they're tired, they are fed up, and they're exhausted with the Dominican Labour Party government. And as such, we have had a lot of discouraged laborites and generally frustrated Dominicans who simply want to see the back of the Dominican Labour Party. And in that regard, the Prime Minister has to measure his decision. I am sure that he's in contemplation as to whether to have a by-election or a general election. But again, he's challenged, because if he were to call a general election right now, he may be advised legally that the election has to be under the all voters list, and that too is subject to a legal challenge. And I'm putting it on public record that should we have an election in Dominica during the confirmation process and we use the old list, that there are enough legal merit to challenge it in a court of law. So politically, it may advantage the Prime Minister to have an election under the all voters list, because what it would do, it would facilitate their political practice of bringing in voters from the diaspora. It would allow for ghost voting, double voting, amongst other electoral irregularities that would advantage the Dominican Labour Party at any general election in Dominica. So that would be his preferred choice. But I'm sure he's minded to note that Dominicans may not simply lie down and allow a general election under the old voters list, because whether by protestation, whether by force, whether by persuasion, that definitely would be a major issue in Dominica, because it would show a lack of a breach of trust, public trust, given that the Prime Minister himself has indicated to Dominicans that, the new law has passed. Yes, he can call his election, but I think generally most Dominicans would expect a general election under a new voters list because they understand what is at stake and they would not want to be cheated again at the polls. On the other hand, the Prime Minister may want to consider time because, of course, he has some major projects in the pipeline, the construction of the international airport, which has not brought the kind of economic or financial activity that he boasted about. As we always say, the people in the peripheral area of the construction of the international airport are not even feeling it. You have the construction of the Mariner, you have the cable car, you have the geothermal project, a number of capital projects which the Prime Minister expected Dominicans to be excited about, but Dominicans generally are not excited about those projects. So maybe the Prime Minister may want to extend the election period, hoping that Dominicans will develop some kind of excitement, will be seduced by those projects. I don't see that happening. So really there's a dilemma from a strategic point of view for the Prime Minister in determining whether to call an early election or a later election, but that is his decision to make. What I can tell you, Matt, being on the ground, as I indicated earlier, I am convinced that whenever election is called, that the Labour Party will lose a number of constituencies. A matter of fact, some constituencies are gone already. Although there are constituencies without working candidates, but people are just fed up. People want to see a change, and people are just waiting for us in the opposition to put ourselves together. I can tell you that the United Progressive Party has received good reception in many areas of Dominica, and our party is growing. Over the next few days, we will announce a couple more candidates, and we are looking forward to taking more ideas and to work with the people of Dominica to foster a plan that will bring betterment for all of us in Dominica.
Mr. Joshua Francis, again, thank you very much. That's how we wrap it up for the afternoon. I'll be back with you tomorrow, if God is willing, on the hot set. The commendation again to the United Workers' Party and the news conference and the new candidates of Marigot, Roseau, and Mr. Danny Luque, and all stalwart who appears has not retired but putting on some new tire.
Whole country, it is time for us to take a stand. After all, this is our native land. That is why I came back to stay. To export the
Somebody's just suggesting to me, man, I just saw the new candidate Ashman McDougall on the campaign trail in Portersville with police escort, police protection. Why? Is that an abuse of state resources? And why would, legitimate question, why would Ashman need police protection? Why?
They are facing in some multiple problems, and just as sure as the sun will rise, this government must fall. The handwriting is on the wall.
I've got to go. I live in you with short shirt. And then good little dancing away, boy. Lady, go and clean the ball out. Bowl the ball out, okay? Send some for Blue.
You can't progress in your country. Our government has no respect for the business community. No dialogue, they don't start in this meeting. Taxing the poor ones who have no money. Why the press live in luxury? As a family and the Prime Minister, and then your boys think down figure. It is only time for the self-destruct. Freedom power is AT&T. Their purpose in government was for the bucks. They don't really care about this country. All this giving, conniving plans and caught up with them. They're facing insurmountable problems. And just as sure as the sun will rise, this government must fall. The unrising is on the wall. Unprecedented corruption rampant throughout the island, and victimization